I'm trying something new. I've done different kind of videos in the past, and one of the main things I really wanted to do with this channel was to tell stories. And I've tried to tell stories through short films and stuff like that. And I think one of the stories I've kind of told before was, how I got started with photography. And photography for me has always been a big thing. Sometimes every week will be a story, and sometimes a story will be once a month. If I have a lot of stories I want to tell that month, then every week's video will have a story element to it based on something I went through or something great that happened. This story that I want to tell today is about when I was 10 years old and my dad bought me my first camera. All right, so when I was about 10 years old, I got a camera it was either my birthday or it was for Christmas. It was a Kodak camera. It was a digital camera, but it was a digital 35mm camera. So in the sense where I mean digital, it had all digital features on it, had the extendable lens that would zzz out when you would turn it on. But it was essentially a 35mm film camera. I liked using it. I really liked the idea of taking pictures and holding the moment and trying to remember. Something told me that I was going to want to remember a lot of things in the future that my brain wouldn't want to hold anymore. And so I was like, I want to take pictures. I want to capture people in moments, in candid moments, preferably, and hold those moments in my hand. This camera, I took pictures of everybody and everything because I was really interested in capturing the moment. Eventually, this led to me taking a photography class at the high school I was going to, and it was more of a black and white camera. But that camera, I learned how to develop film, and when I developed film, I learned how to transfer the pictures onto photo paper and then develop the pictures. So I learned a lot about photography and using 35mm film. It was an experience to be had. There's a bigger story behind spending time in photography class using Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, and developing film. I made some really good bonds in that class, made good friends, learned a lot. There came a point where phones started having cameras on them. I think the Samsung had an 8-megapixel camera on it. Nokia had one that had a 2-megapixel camera on it. They actually had flip phones that started to have cameras on them, and I had one of those. And even though things in my life had started to change to the point where I stopped taking as many pictures with the traditional way, I started taking a lot of pictures on phones. And I have maybe hundreds or thousands of pictures just from taking pictures on phones throughout, my 20s and 30s. And it felt like the passion I had been smothered for so many years. Even in that midst of time, I wasn't just wanting to take photos. I wanted to do video creation. And it wasn't until 2018, I was watching YouTube, I came across a guy named D for Darius. I thought to myself, I really like, I like creating videos. I tried the YouTube in 2006 and I just failed at it. But I really like creating videos, but I really like photography. And I was like, you know what? I want to take pictures and I want to put them on YouTube. But I also really like the aspect of filmmaking too. I've always really liked that. I wanted to be in commercials when I was younger. And I really liked the idea of being in advertisement for some reason. I don't know why, but I liked it. And that, together with me wanting to create this magical world that came from my imagination, plus wanting to showcase pictures I've taken and take more pictures, made me find a new camera and begin a new journey. It was rough. I got my first camera, which was the Canon 80D, and boy, was that an adventure to learn. And over the course of the last 6 years, it has been a bit of a journey, and I'm glad that I took the time to reignite a passion that I've had since I was 10 that slowly dwindled away and became a background element to my life through cell phones. And I still take pictures with cell phones all day. I take screenshots, take pictures of stuff. And that's how I got started with YouTube again. But it wasn't just to take pictures. It was also to be a filmmaker, be a videographer, to create my own content and take my imagination on a wild ride. And so with that being said, this is me. This is the journey I've been on since I was 10. And you know, they say it's never too late to start. And just, yeah, it's never too late. And I thank you guys for stopping by and watching this video. Put a comment down in the comments. Give me a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. And until next time, story time.